So looking back, when you're trying to be everything to everybody,
Yeah.
was this really just trying to get more experience, or was this not knowing to say no?
I just didn't know any better, dude.
Got it.
I thought that that's how you do it. And then
Mhm.
eventually the clients will want to give you more money. And then if you just keep working hard, it'll kind of fall into your lap.
Sounds like a corporate job.
I
Keep
just,
working hard. Eventually, it'll be
yeah,
good.
eventually it'll come to you.
Yeah.
And it's important to know I had no help at the time. Like I didn't
Mhm.
hire any mentors. I didn't use any systems that I learned about. I thought that I could figure it out on my own further.
Yeah.
Right. And so after like 2.5 years of that, my business partner and I walked, and I also had our first baby. We had our first baby, and we had another one on the way. And my business partner and I were just stretched so thin. We're like, bro, we gotta like shut this down and move on. Like this is killing both of us. Yeah. I remember our office was above a brewery, microbrewery in downtown San Diego. We were in this cool historic building. You know, we had like the hipster looking office with the brick,
Yeah.
you know, and the old place that you kind of made cool, new, and modern, paying way too much in rent. And we went downstairs, and you know, it was kind of like silent. And we get a beer, we go cheers, you know, and he's like, so, and I was like, yeah, I'm thinking the same thing. And they're like, are you though? Like, are you not just saying that because I'm thinking that, right? And it was like very quickly, we're like, bro, let's just shut this thing down and figure out anything outside of this is going to be better than what we're doing right now. We're dying, you know?
Yeah.
Externally, people thought we were doing great.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we had some good clients. They were paying us a high volume of money. It's just profit was not there, right? Little to no profit every month. And so I'm like, my wife is saying, okay, well, what are you going to do if you shut it down? I'm like, I'm going to get a sublease for our office to get out of the debt.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to take all the debt off of my business partner's plate because he's about 10 years younger than me. And I honestly didn't know if he would recover if he, you know, took his part of the debt. And I was like, I know I can work my way out of it. If I have to go back to bar backing or whatever, I'll figure it out. Right.
Yeah.
So I take on all the debt. We make a YouTube video where I'm basically like being a real estate agent. It's still online somewhere. And I'm telling them all about how awesome the space is and why they should want to sublease it.
Mm-hmm.
And I went home that night after making that video, and I just like lost it all. I just started like bawling my eyes out to my wife. I was like, I feel like a failure. I feel like I let everyone down. I feel like I let my team down most of all. Clients will be fine probably, but they're like, what happened? Why aren't you doing this anymore? It's like embarrassing. You know, it's a little bit humiliating too. And at the end of that night, my wife asked me that. She's like, maybe you should just go get a job. She didn't ask me. She just kind of said it like that. Maybe you should go like get a digital marketing job at like a big company or something. Mm-hmm. That actually pissed me off.
Same.
Yeah. I was like, fuck no. I turned from like shame, humiliation to like immediate rage. And I was like, I'm going to make this happen. Like I was angry at her. I was just like, I felt like I did that to me all of a sudden with that question. And
at that moment,
I will never be happy doing that. There's no way I will never, you know. So then I said, give me a few months. I'm going to put a plan together. And that's, so go ahead.
So at that moment, like looking back, was there like any part of what you're doing that was working? Like you could build a website really well, like you could do client relationships really well. Was there like some spoke to the hub where you're like, that's what I'm double down on?
No.
Or everything was so cloudy and you had no clue?
Dude, no. We weren't very good at any one thing. Like we were pretty good at like we could be fairly good at any one tactic, right? But putting like a whole comprehensive plan together, it was really the clients that were sort of like we were glorified freelancers.
Yeah.
Like the clients would just throw out what they thought that they'd already decided that they wanted, and we'd price it, agree on a price, then we'd just get to work. You know, it wasn't
and
like
when you agreed on that price, it wasn't you were agreeing to someone else's price, putting on a margin. You were taking on the work, right?
Yeah. So a lot of it, like I call that the sales fulfillment paradox, right? We were trapped in that cycle. So I would sell. I was okay at selling, not great, but okay. The pricing and packaging would come in. I go, bet we need the money. You know, get the funds, get it going, get the agreement signed, and I would turn right back around and start fulfilling on it. Like my partner and I were the ones doing most of the fulfillment. That was the other problem with our business was we had help, but no one could do anything unless they asked us how to do it.
Right.
We had no repeatable systems or processes, no repeatable skill sets, etc. And so that's where all the money was going, was they would just spend 8 hours to do something I knew how to do in 30 minutes. So then,
which reinforced you doing it.
Yes. Terrible. Like freaking awful, actually. So I felt like I was not only paying them, which builds resentment, by the way.
Yes.
You've gone through that. You're like, why can't you learn this, employee? Well, it's really your fault, dummy.
Yeah.
You're the caveman, not them. Right. So, so the way I understand your question, the way that I arrived at how do I solve this problem if I'm going to do another swing, another at bat, was when I asked my wife for that leeway for those couple months. The first thing that I did, like we sold all our furniture, found a sublet lessee, like got out of all that stuff. And, that took up probably like a month to do all that stuff. And then I was like, okay, like back to zero, back to square one. I printed out, this is how I did it. I just thought, hey, I'm going to be like a forensics auditor and go in. I printed off all the line items that I made in my, I think it was like a FreshBooks account.
Yeah.
It's like in FreshBooks, you have invoices where you can just type in stuff and save certain services or fees or whatever. And I printed it out and it was like a stack of papers like this.
Yeah.
Which it made me sick to my stomach. I'm like, I already know what the fucking problem is.
So all the products. Yeah.
Dude, it was like we were custom creating crap on the fly every day for years. And so there was thousands of line items in our invoices. And I was like, holy crap. So the key here is to simplify it. And I was starting to like look around for people who are having success with more specialized agencies, because I still want to do digital marketing.
Yeah.
That was great. Still want to help small local business owners. Thought that was great. And so I printed all that out. And one of the most profitable line items we did like 1% of our revenue from it, but it was Facebook ads. Like our clients started to ask us to manage their Facebook ads for them. And by the way, Jeff, this is back when you could throw a poo on the wall and it would sell. It was like so cheap, so responsive, so good. It was just like, yeah, I'll do that. It's the easiest thing I'm going to do this year, right? The only problem was I wasn't doing enough of it to make it like to move the needle, right?
Yeah.
So, I'm like, I think there's something there, but it's so new. I don't really know what I'm doing. They were just, here's 10% of our budget, throw it at Facebook ads, right?